Non-stop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
Write them down. It's like a personal contract with ourselves.
Yes, it's a Write That Down Wednesday on Purple Daily, Daily Vikings Entertainment, where we just want the Vikings to win a dang Super Bowl before we die. And the odds are a little better now than they were a few weeks ago. Gentlemen, playoff odds, I think, north of 70% as we sit here today. Got the Broncos, a very beatable team on Sunday Night Football. That Bears game did not get flexed on Monday night, right? Wasn't yesterday the deadline to flex that thing?
I thought it was, but then I've seen, I also saw a report that today might be the day, but I think it gets left now. I think
Chicago market, Josh Dobbs story, Vikings resurgent. Yeah.
Division rivalry.
Yes.
Pending what they do with the Bengals game, the Vikings don't have another noon game until Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Because they get the bye, and then the Vegas is a mid-afternoon, right? So sleep in, folks.
That's a 1 o'clock start in Vegas, right? So it's a traditional start time. It's just because they're on the road, but
but your internal
our clock here where we live.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
3:30. That's
but it's not a
gymnastics. What time gymnastics are you doing right now?
It's not
those
a
London
game.
games technically are noon London time games.
So it's not a specialty game. I'm talking about specialty games. I think Chicago gets left as a specialty game.
I literally said they don't have a noon game until
in
Christmas
Minneapolis,
Eve,
St.
and
Paul.
you've turned it into a
In
1 o'clock,
5 o'clock
somewhere.
Time.
I'm telling you, it's just that one's just an ordinary game. Chicago night game, Monday night.
Yeah, let's go. Let's fire it. By the way, it doesn't matter what time it is, whether it's noon, 5 o'clock, 4 in the morning. Quick Trip is the convenience store you should walk into. We literally bought our half week's worth of groceries 2 weekends ago. We're going to do it again this weekend too. Oh no, they were gone by Wednesday. Gone,
okay.
All of it. Bananas gone, everything. It was great.
But you found out the most important thing, which is Quick Trip is your one-stop shopping. You can get everything there. In my case, it's some of the delicious Karuba coffee. In the Mackey's case, it's groceries. And guess what? Quick Trip also wants to make you a winner with what they're calling their Vikings opening drive contest. Here's the deal. Purchase any Pothole Pizza or 20-ounce Pepsi-Cola product with Quick Rewards. To enter, purchase both products together with Quick Rewards and receive 10 bonus entries. One weekly winner will receive a $10 gift card for every yard gained during the Vikings opening drive. If the Vikings get a field goal on that drive, which they did this past weekend, the winner will earn an additional $500 Quick Trip gift card if the Vikings score a touchdown. You never know with Josh Dobbs. The opening drive, the winner will earn an additional $1,000 Quick Trip gift card. The weekly winners have a chance to win up to $2,000 in Quick Trip gift cards. All weekly winners will also be entered for a chance to win a grand prize, which is a pair of 2024-25 Viking season tickets, free fuel for a year from Quick Trip. That'd be nice. And that comes to a total value of $5,500. See quicktrip.com/sweepstakes for details. Quicktrip.com/sweepstakes for details on the Vikings opening drive contest.
Yes. Also, hey, thank you guys. You guys have helped us raise $1,000 in the last 48 hours for our friends at Secondhand Hounds. So just a quick reminder, it's Give to the Max Day tomorrow. It's basically Give to the Max week. And so here at Purple Daily and across the Score North network of podcasts, we are dog lovers, and Secondhand Hounds, whether it's rescuing dogs from kill shelters or from owners who can no longer provide care for their dogs, they are a nonprofit animal rescue based in Minnesota that provides safe shelter and works hard to find each of these animals a permanent, loving home. So, and thanks to our friends at NutriSource, they are matching the first $1,000 as well. ScoreNorth.com/donate. That's ScoreNorth.com/donate. Pitch in $5, $500, whatever you feel comfortable with. We appreciate you animal lovers out there. Here's how Write That Down works. It's our weekly prediction segment where we are the only show in America that actually is stupid enough to put statistics next to our predictions so you can see how wrong we are on a regular basis. It's 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. Those are the parameters here. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns on this show. And if you want to be like our guy Nick, who's about to make another appearance on Write That Down, you can send us a message. Send it to Declan through the Score North app. There's a feedback tab, and we'll get you scheduled for some time in the coming weeks. We'll start with Judd's accountability session. Not great, Judley. Not great.
Oh, 0 for 2.
You said the Vikings-Bears game will be flexed out. Now, I thought the deadline was yesterday. You're holding out hope that it might be today.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be, so.
Okay. If it gets flexed out, we'll revisit this, obviously. Give you the proper credit.
Absolutely.
You said within the first 8 games, Kevin O'Connell would give Brian Flores a game ball. I feel like he kind of reserves these for the players. I haven't seen that on any of the video clips.
No, I mean, I'm guessing he is, it might have been done privately, but it had to be done, but we can't know that. So, yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think it's
all
fair.
players. It's all players,
Yep.
Right?
Nope. I think it's fair.
I don't even. You barely see him. You see, like, the only non-players you even see in those locker room videos are like the goofy Wilfs just standing there in their suits with big smiles. Wario
and they're
Ziggy.
always in the front. It's like, at least move to the back.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Move to the back. This is for the players, dude. Anyway, yep, that's fair.
All right, not a bad week for me here. I did tell you that the Vikings-Broncos Sunday night football game would get flexed out, but that's all of a sudden a really interesting game because the Broncos are back in the playoff picture and the Vikings are this fun storyline. Looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Told you guys that Josh Dobbs, despite being a turnover machine and a safety machine in that first game, overcoming it, would not turn the ball over against the most interception-friendly defense in the NFL, the Saints. He did not.
Yeah, that first, what was it his first or second pass, though, was really dicey.
Addison?
And then I feel like after that, it was okay.
I kind of like he's got a little bit of a gambler mentality. I think we'll find out more as we watch him play more, but Kirk brilliantly made a career off of just trying to avoid catastrophic mistakes. And he would make some of them, but like Kirk very rarely would just howitzer a bunch of turnovers, right? There was that Falcons game a few years ago during the pandemic season, I think, where he had a bunch of turnovers, but he's very much risk averse, and Kevin O'Connell was trying to get him to be a little bit more, hey, it's okay to throw a 50-50 ball once in a while. Josh Dobbs we'll kind of see, but to this point, he's been a little reckless with the ball, and we'll see. I told you the Vikings would bring back Myles Gaskin to the active roster or practice squad after he was cut by the Rams, and didn't take long for that to happen. He's back. Okay. Listeners, Nick said Ron Rivera would be fired by week 11, and here we are in week 11. He's coaching. He's coaching this weekend. They just won a game last week, actually.
They did. I'm not sure he's going to be coaching 2024 with the Commanders, but
they're feisty.
They are feisty, yes.
They're feisty. Our guy Chansey said the Twins will win more games in October than the Vikings. And the Twins posted a nice number, man. So they lost their last regular season game was against the Rockies, I think, and they lost on October 1st. But then they won the 2 games against the Jays, and they won one game against the Astros. Mm-hmm. So they had 3, but the Vikings rattled off 4 wins in the month of October here. So Chansey, sorry, man, it's a good creative prediction, but incorrect. And then Lawyer Chase said, we missed this one a few weeks ago, by September 30th, it's supposed to say, of 2023, Justin Jefferson and Anthony Edwards would be featured in an article and recreate the Randy Moss, Kevin Garnett photo.
We still haven't seen that.
JJ liked the Wolves post that they
Jake
used.
Scraffs made it. Jake Scraffs, yeah.
And JJ liked the tweet, and everyone was speculating if this is ever going to happen. Because I made this exact prediction a year ago as well, and didn't happen.
It'll happen at some point, I think. It's ripe. Declan, you said the Vikings would beat the Saints and the Lions would lose to the Chargers.
Close.
But you did say that Ty Chandler would score his first NFL touchdown against the Saints, which is a touchdown prediction for you. Should have had 2 of them. Nice job. So with that, Declan on the season, which runs through the Super Bowl, 37.7% completions. I just jumped Judd 35.5 to Judd's 35.4%. Listeners at 24.5% completions. Judd with a narrow touchdown lead, 10 touchdowns. Declan has 9. I have 9. Listeners have 5. And all-time, Declan less than 1% lead over Judd, just under 36% to 35%. I'm at 33%. Listeners 23. I have the most touchdowns with 42. So it's a tightly contested battle here.
What a race.
This is great, man. Drama. Let's get Nick in here. He's our guest listener predictor.
What's up, guys?
Nick, what's going on, man? Remind us again, what's your background as a Vikings fan, Nick?
Oh, man, Declan already knows this story. But in 1998, I fell in love with Minnesota because we were really good. And then my mother, my wonderful mother, she got me a Gary Anderson jersey. And the rest of that
dude.
night, I swear.
No.
Yeah. So I never wore that Gary Anderson jersey ever again.
They should have sold the Gary Anderson like 1-bar helmets. Did they sell those?
No. How did she land on that jersey?
Cheap jersey. I was 9, so she didn't want to buy me, an expensive jersey because she didn't, I'm in Virginia, so she thought maybe I'd switch to Washington, but 20 years later.
Dumpster fire franchise, Washington.
Oh no, I refuse.
I have heard, and it's funny because we can look through some of the like podcast and YouTube analytics and see like where from the country like audiences are from. And for years and years, I've always heard that Virginia is kind of just a weird hotbed for Vikings fans, and we will see it sometimes in our metrics. Is that true?
Yeah, so it didn't really bring it into perspective until I went to the Washington game last year, and there was way more purple than Washington. And usually, like with the Giants and Philly, of course, the NFC East teams, they all are popular around here, so they usually take up the stadium. But to see Minnesota show up the way we did in Washington last year was insane.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Virginia, man. One of the hotbeds of Vikings fans. So we're going to go around the room 3 times. We'll start with Nick, over to Judd, Declan, back to me. Nick, you are under center, sir. What is your first prediction?
Write this down.
All right. So I don't know if this is a touchdown, but it's a little 2-leg parlay. But I think next year, Brian Flores and Danielle Hunter will be back in purple next year.
That would be key to this defense being awesome again in 2024. So Flores he's gonna get interviews, even more so because remember he got interviews last year coming off like a linebacker job with the Steelers. Now he's coordinating this crazy jump in defensive performance. He's absolutely going to get 3-4 interviews, you'd think, right?
Yeah, I just think with what we have built here, I do think it's special. I've said that before Kirk went down, and I think it's going to be, a Wes Phillips kind of case where he got offers to go coach, and he was like, you know what, I like what we have in Minnesota, and I think Brian is going to see that as well and stay.
I think Flores has the advantage now, too, of probably waiting for a job he wants.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't strike me. And again, the whole Dolphins thing, which was a dumpster fire to a certain degree from the top, I wonder if he would just take a job. I got to believe that he would be a bit more picky because, Phil, to your point, if he's got 3 or 4 opportunities, it's not going to be like, well, you got to take Cardinals' job or you're screwed. So
you know who should hire him, but they probably won't. It's an organization that loves defensive coaches. The Chicago Bears should hire Brian Flores.
I would hate
it. It would be awful for the Vikings if that happened. But if they were smart, they would fire Matt Eberflus. They'd probably get rid of Justin Fields and start over there again too. Or go get a veteran quarterback. You got a bunch of other interesting pieces, and then hire Brian Flores to change that defense.
I think Ryan Poles next guy, a quarterback guy. The good thing is O'Connell is the latest in a long line of guys that I think he's going to cause teams to not necessarily embrace hiring defensive guys.
Yeah.
Because if it's up to me, I want a guy. I mean, O'Connell has made a world of difference in the QB room, and it's been huge, right? So if I own a team, if I own the Bears, and I was just convinced to hire the defensive guy from the Colts, and it's going terribly, and Fields really is not developing, my next guy is going to know exactly what the hell he's doing. So it actually might work to the Vikings' advantage and O'Connell's advantage that guys like O'Connell are going to be the hot ticket guys. So
yeah. All right, Joe, what's your prediction here?
Josh Dobbs will have more passing and rushing yards on Sunday evening than Russell Wilson.
Okay.
He'll run for more yards and he'll pass for more yards than the Broncos' seemingly washed-up quarterback.
He's a little less washed up than he was a year ago, but he's certainly not Seattle Russell Wilson.
Write this down.
Anything like he used to look.
Dex?
All right, I'm going to go with a couple specific predictions here. First one, Josh Dobbs' first completion against the Broncos will be to T.J. Hawkinson. So the first
I
completion
tried that one.
will go to T.J. Hawkinson.
You guys, your
Write
little
it down.
dink and dunk predictions here.
Write this down.
Well, dink
No,
and dunk.
that's not
I'm
dink and dunk.
dink and dunk.
He's the most targeted player on the
I'm
team.
I
targets
predicted
are
this and it was
different.
wrong.
Yeah.
I'll defend Declan here.
No, this is this.
It doesn't mean that
I'm-
your prediction of it wasn't also a dink and dunk
This-
prediction.
this- It's not a dink and dunk prediction.
You're
It's
turning on the
karma.
whole show now, huh?
No,
Yes.
this is a specific
I'm not
one
gonna rip
thing,
Declan for this.
one item in a vacuum. He will complete his first pass to one player. That's not dink and dunk at all.
Congrats. The
Stop
audience
attacking
is
our producer.
highly entertained right now by this
Stop attacking our
prediction.
prediction.
Write this down. The coin toss will be, and I'm just kidding. All right, I'll swing. This is a touchdown prediction. Kevin O'Connell didn't even get a sniff of Coach of the Year last year. He's winning it this year. Kevin O'Connell, NFL Coach of the Year. Write it down.
Okay.
Write this down.
Good talk. Okay, back to Nick for your second prediction.
All right.
All right, so I was gonna add something to this, but I looked up the stats this morning. I think I dug myself in a deeper hole. But I believe that Ty Chandler will finish with more yards than Alexander Madison. I think he's close to 400 yards behind. So it's a lot, but I've been on the Ty Chandler hype since preseason last year. I think it's honestly disrespectful that they keep trotting Madison out there. I love Alex as a person, player. What
We
he's
all
done
do.
for the organization, he's fantastic. But there comes a point where if you're not doing your job, you lose your job. It is what it is. And every time this kid is in, he should have had 2 touchdowns last week. So yeah, that's my prediction. I think Ty Chandler will finish ahead of Madison. He's 300 and close to 400 yards behind now.
He is. It's just under 4. He's like 380 yards behind Madison. So this is a great prediction.
And is this rushing?
That would be a
is this
touchdown.
rushing yards or total yards?
Whatever gets me the touchdown.
I mean, I think
Either.
either one of them would get you the touchdown.
I would
'Cause
say
he's,
rushing then.
Yards from scrimmage, he is 500 behind Alex Madison.
Okay.
So if he catches him in either one of those categories, I mean, Madison's going to play again. Like he's not like out for the season. So I think it's a touchdown either way.
Write this down.
Judd?
So when Phil, you just made your O'Connell prediction, I did not say a thing because I was about to say something, and I'm like, no, hold on a second. I'll hold that for the moment right now. So write this
I thought
down.
my prediction just shell-shocked everyone. Or their internet all cut
O'Connell,
out.
no. I was going to say this, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to keep quiet because I'm going to wait till it's my turn to say what my response is.
You could have said that verbatim after I made my prediction. Instead, you just awkward silence
I think
instead.
this might be me and Judd against Mackie today.
It wasn't awkward at all. It was not awkward at all. You could see the wheels turning in Sports Dad's brain. So that I would say this. Write this down. D'Amico Ryans will be the NFL Coach of the Year in the National Football League.
He's right in there too. Yeah.
The turnaround there is too great in my opinion, and they love, like last year, Dable, first year, playoff team, Giants, right? I think and the fact that Houston has, and I have no idea because he's a defensive guy, how much D'Amico has to do with this, but the fact that Houston has actually drafted a quarterback who looks good is going to be to his advantage too. So I think D'Amico wins it.
Houston's had some sneaky, like Matt Schaub was good for a few years, and they had Deshaun Watson, and like
Deshaun
they've done a better job than like the Bears and some other franchises. But C.J. Stroud, man, yeah, he just might be one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the league as a
Write
rookie.
this down.
And Deshaun's out now again.
My only problem with D'Amico winning it over KOC is if D'Amico lost C.J. Stroud, I think it's a whole different story.
Agreed.
I think what KOC has done with Josh Dobbs, I'm actually still a Jaron Hall hype train. I think he deserves some play, but what Josh Dobbs has done, it's nothing short of spectacular.
Agreed. It has to be considered. And no Justin Jefferson. You know, they've had offensive line injuries and stuff. All right, Declan's second prediction.
All right, write this down. The Vikings' first touchdown against the Broncos will be a Josh Dobbs rushing touchdown.
All right.
Ooh.
So he will again roll out, use his legs. The first touchdown the Vikings score against the Broncos will be a Josh Dobbs rushing touchdown.
The Dobber.
That's a touchdown, correct? Prediction?
I think
It's not
so.
a check down?
It's not a check down. It's definitely not a check down.
No. It's very specific because it's the first one.
It's because it's rushing. Because the other options are passing touchdown. Could be a rushing touchdown for somebody else. Like, I think it's specific enough that it also assumes they're going to score a touchdown, which, Denver's defense has been a lot better since they got 70 points hung on them.
At altitude.
Okay, I am so confident
Write this down.
that the Broncos are a fraud, despite the way that they've been winning. Like, they have wins over the Chiefs and the Bills, and you're like, oh my God, here they come. It's all based on turnovers. Josh Allen turning the ball over, Patrick Mahomes uncharacteristically. Now, the Vikings have shown that they could maybe go off for 3 or 4 turnovers too, so I'm not ruling that out. But I think in the Broncos offense too, it's mostly just like dink, dunk, 4 yards, 5 yards. Russell Wilson, shelve himself. The Vikings are going to ambush the Broncos in the first quarter. Write this down. Vikings will have a double-digit lead in the first quarter of this game on Sunday Night Football.
Wow.
Little ambush. We'll see what happens. They got to hold on to it and all that stuff. I'm just saying the Vikings are going to come out hot in this game.
You know what? I know exactly how they're going to get it too. And it's going to make Declan very confident. Greg Joseph's going to hit like a 60-yard field goal in the rare air.
They're going to attempt
Colorado.
a 60-yarder in the first quarter.
Yeah, he's going to hit like a 58 yards. Bang.
They're going for it.
They're going for it.
He doesn't go for it as much as I'd like.
Oh, no, not even close. That was it.
I wouldn't go for
3 last week.
I hated that.
I was screaming at the TV.
Yeah, a little bit of Mike Zimmer in there of like, dude.
I don't know if I should go for it.
Man.
59-yard field goal, Greg Joseph.
Yeah.
Write this down.
All right, back to Nick for his third and final prediction.
So my final prediction, even with Justin Jefferson being out the last 5 games, I still have Addison, Hawkinson, and Justin Jefferson all hitting 1,000 yards.
Ooh, okay.
Addison, Hawkins.
So, yeah, I mean, JJ is at, 550 or something? I could see this happening. They're all kind of bunched within,
What's Addison
like
at now?
I think he's around
Addison was
600?
right under 5. Is he?
500 something? Actually, I have it. I literally have it right in front of me. Maybe Declan can look it up.
I'll look it up.
It's 681 for Hawkinson, 603 for Addison, and 571 for Jefferson.
Ooh, okay.
So they're all within striking distance with 7 games to go. I love Nick coming in here, man. Just slinging it, bringing the takes here, coming in hot. Nick, since you've got this life-changing platform right now on Purple Daily, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you to this peak moment?
Not necessarily for sports, because I'm kind of a loner as a Vikings fan, but I definitely want to give out a shout out to my bands. One of them is called Tell Me More, and the other one is Head On Collision. It's early 2000s pop punk, and it means everything to me.
Dude, this is Judd's chance to play the Tom Hanks role in That Thing You Do. And manage,
which is one of my favorite
Nick's
films
career.
of all time. Yep.
Hey, we need it.
Head On Collision, great name.
Thank you.
The one I've always thought that would be perfect for a band, Blunt Force Trauma.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever heard that one before for a band.
No, Nick, that whole era
band.
That's my era, man. Fall Out Boy, Yellow Card, American Rejects, Simple Plan, Sum 41.
Let's go.
I can go on. It's my entire Spotify rap that'll come out here in a couple weeks. Will just be all of that music. I just listen to the same thing since I've been 10 years old.
Yeah, me too. No, I have a wonderful producer. It sounds really good. I'm very proud of the product. We're almost finished. It's almost going to be released. I have some songs already out, such as Reckless Love, Better Off, Lose It. But yeah, I would definitely, please, I would love the Purple community to let me know what y'all think.
Awesome, man.
You're
Nick,
awesome, man.
And
Thank
shout
you.
out the name of your band again in case people missed it the first time.
It's Tell Me More is one, and head-on collision is the other.
I have another band name, Meet in the A Gap. How about that?
Football.
Mike Zimmer's the front man.
Yep. Lead vocals.
The album name is just Linball.
Yeah.
The album name is just Linball.
With the gas mask on the album cover. Oh, man. Nick, great stuff, dude. Thanks for coming on.
We'll
talk to you again sometime.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, before we make our final predictions here, let's talk about our friends over at Surly Brewing Company, Judd. The Before I Die lager that's taken the entire country, not the entire country, but like Minnesota and beyond by storm, I should say.
Absolutely. And Before I Die, it speaks to a mission that we sort of thought was dead after, week 5 or so? The Vikings 1-4 at the time. And it's like, okay, Before I Die becomes the mission for 2024. Not so fast. Guess what? It is the mission again. And that means that as you were watching the Sunday night tilt, for instance, between the Broncos and Vikings, you can sit on your couch, watch the game, and enjoy a delicious can or two of Before I Die from our friends at Surly Brewing, who have so many delicious beers. The Logic Bomb, my personal favorite, Furious. I mean, we could go down the list, but Before I Die is what it's all about. Check it out in your bars, liquor stores. Before I Die, now in 12 packs as well from Surly Brewing. We combined the goal of Purple Daily, the goal of Surly Brewing, and the goal of every Purple fan in town.
Amen.
Before I Die.
Amen. Last night, I had some vegetable stir fry and some salmon. I was very, very healthy last night. But the truth is, I know this might shock some people, not always great at getting all of the nutrients that I need from food. And so that's where AG1 comes in. A handful of years ago, I discovered AG1 products. They've added a ton of value to my life. It's like nutritional insurance to start your day. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, immune support. One scoop mixed with your water, either in the morning or maybe it's middle of the day, like early afternoon, can fight off brain fog. That's what's been a big help for me. 75 high-quality ingredients that give me important daily nutrients. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/purple daily. That's drinkag1.com/purple daily. Judd, tell the audience, too, about our favorite van roaming around out there, helping. It's hot tub season, okay?
Oh, God, let me
That van, of course, that van is the van, and that noise is the noise. Well, I'm not really quite sure about that. From our friends at Finch Home Solutions, Cody Finch and his team taking care of any electrical issues that you might have, as Phil just said. Hot tub season. It's getting chilly. You're thinking, you know what? Let's install a hot tub so we are nice and toasty. But guess what? You got to have a lot of electrical installation that goes along with that. Finch has your back on that. They've got your back on projects big and small. And of course, there is nothing more important than the electrical issues in your home, because that's how you keep your family safe. And it is 1,000% not a DIY project. It is a project for the experts at Finch to take care of. Give them a call, 612-357-2604, 612-357-2604, or go to their redesigned website, finchhomesolutions.com, and set up an appointment there. It's an easy to navigate website, finchhomesolutions.com. Cody Finch and his team have your back.
All right, guys, time for
Write it down. You like writing things
a
down.
final lap around the room here. Joe, what's your third and final prediction?
My third and final prediction is this. I'm going to try and get a little bit ahead of the ball game here, considering that we have another meltdown in Buffalo going. Stephon Diggs will not be with the Buffalo Bills after this season. Stephon Diggs is going to move on. He's going to force his way out. He is a royal pain in the posterior. I really feel like the Bills' window of opportunity has just closed. Like they didn't get there too bad. The big bad Chiefs create some problems. So Stephon Diggs is going to force his way out of Buffalo. He will not be with the Bills after this season.
It feels more contentious than the Minnesota thing, but he did like boycott practice a couple days. It's kind of the same vibe of like he's not happy. We don't know exactly why he's not happy, and there's cryptic tweets being sent out, and
then when you think he's okay again, he gets pissed off again, right?
Yep. And by the way, I think we hung out with him a couple times at like Radio Row, and he came and dumped a bucket of water on me at the state fair for
enjoyed that.
A bet. Like he's a good guy, super competitive, but he's kind of a front runner. Like if things are going poorly, he's got a little front runner too.
I feel like he changed too, don't you? Like I don't think he was this big a pain in the ass for a few years. And now it's just like every time, and it's never his fault. It's always, I'm not getting the ball, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I think his time in Buffalo is coming to an end.
Okay.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, write this down. I have a JJ prediction. When Justin Jefferson does come back to the Vikings, write this down. He will have a multi-touchdown game in his first game back with the Vikings. So in Justin Jefferson's first game back with the Vikings, multi-touchdown game. Write it down.
There it is. See, now we're cooking.
Write this down.
Now we're cooking right there. Cooking with gas right there. Okay, Judd has inspired me. I was going to do a Brian Flores prediction, but I can make that prediction anytime in the next couple months. Your Bills prediction has inspired me to do a 3-coach firing parlay here.
Oh, very Zolgadian of you. Yes, I like this.
And I think it is a 3-item parlay. 2 of them seem kind of likely, but one of them is not nearly as likely unless you think about it today.
Okay.
So these 3 coaches will no longer be coaching their current NFL teams, I'll say, on March 1st.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll give myself a little leeway. March 1st. Sure. Ron Rivera, Brandon Staley, Sean McDermott. I think they've gone as far as they can go. Like it feels like they had a little bit of a window, maybe. I mean, they were playing the Chiefs. Like
I like this. I love
and
this.
now it's kind of careening the other way. They just desperately fired an offensive coordinator. Josh Allen's not the same as he was since Dable left. Diggs is pissed. The defense has fallen from top 3 to mid-pack, and it everything feels like it's just sliding the wrong way.
And McDermott's calling defensive plays now, and it's actually gotten worse.
Yeah. I think it's going to be too hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube here for them.
How do you look in today's league? How do you look at your situation if your team is not playing well, and think to yourself, we're going to make a coaching change, and I want a defensive guy? Like Josh Allen, clearly something's off there, right?
Yeah.
Can the Bills coach identify? I mean, he's a defensive guy, right? Like, so
their schedule too is brutal. So they're outside the playoffs. They're like tied for the 9 or 10 seed right now. So they're like out of the playoff picture. They play the Jets, who already beat them once. It's a home game. Then they play at Philadelphia, bye week, at Kansas City, home against Dallas, at the Chargers. Patriots should be a win. And then at Miami at the end of the season. Dude, like, they're going to have to win at least 5 of those games. They have to go at least 5-2, probably even better in the AFC. So there might be some firings. So, all right, there you go, boys. Those are your write that down predictions.
Write this down.
Little accountability
Write it down.
session.
You like writing things down.
Only show in America that's dumb enough to put statistics next to our predictions on this and our other weekly edition, the OG version of Write That Down on the Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd podcast. Let's pop that graphic back up on the screen here because it's time for the Quarterback Cesspool Challenge, a weekly celebration of the worst quarterback play in the NFL each week. We'll get to last week's results here. Very interesting. But here's how it works. Each member of the show picks a quarterback. We draft quarterbacks each week that we think are going to be bad. We measure it by QBR, ESPN's QBR, just who had the worst QBR among the 3 quarterbacks we choose. It's kind of like a survivor pool. We can only pick the same quarterback once, and then you're done. You can't pick him again. And all 3 of us have to draft different quarterbacks each week. If your quarterback doesn't play, you just get a default average QBR, which is 50 on the 0 to 100 scale. So last week, Trevor Lawrence had the worst QBR in the NFL in that ass-kicking against San Francisco, man. Trevor Lawrence.
This is so, but I mean, this is why, and it didn't work at all, but it's why I took Kirk. right?
Because you,
like,
you
don't know.
never know. You never
And you
know.
need to take guys like that.
But you made the right decision because you picked the second worst quarterback in the NFL last week, Tommy DeVito.
Todd, did you see his quote? Did you see
about his mom?
Yes, he lives with his parents, and he was talking about how his mom. He's like, I don't gotta do any work. Tommy
I come
DeVito.
home, my mom makes dinner for me.
Classic Gen Z guy.
Oh my God! And he got so ratioed too by people who are like, God, he's going to be a great husband someday.
But it's brilliant if the Giants, with what they're doing now, is just leaning into the tank, right? They're like, what's the least inspiring thing we can do at that position now that our top two quarterbacks are out? Let's put a guy in that was undrafted from one of the worst football teams in the Big Ten who lives at home still. That'll really inspire the other 52 guys on the roster. So,
oh my God, it's so true.
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito or Danny? Which DeVito do we want?
I think they might want to try Danny. Just do like a little wildcat or read option for next week. But Tommy DeVito had an 18 QBR, so Judd is the winner. Picks up his third weekly victory on the season. Declan successfully pegged Derek Carr against that Vikings defense, a 23 QBR before he was knocked out, almost literally. I tried Jordan Love against that Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and he did throw a couple picks, but they wound up giving him a 72 QBR. So
that's really good. Right,
one of his better performances of the year. So with that, Judd gets the weekly win. He's up to 3 wins. So weekly wins, Declan leads with 4. Judd has 3. I have 3. The season average QBRs, Declan back in front, 39.7 average QBR on a 0 to 100 scale. It's pretty damn good. Judd 43.2, and with help from Jordan Love, I have moved back into last place, 45.7 average QBR. So we draft in reverse order of last week's standings. So I get the first pick this week. Declan gets the second pick. Judd gets the third pick. If you guys need help with like your list of quarterbacks you've used, just let me know. I've got it in front of me here somewhere. So, all right, this is what's tough. Tommy DeVito is like, you almost have to take Tommy DeVito, right?
Tommy DeVito, yes.
He's Tommy DeVito. He lives at home.
Tommy, let me tell you something.
He's got his mom cooking for him.
Don't get smart.
They're playing on the road at the Commanders. Now, the Commanders just traded away 2 of their pass rushers, and so they're not getting after quarterbacks quite the way they did. But Kenny Pickett has also been one of the worst QBR quarterbacks in the league all year, and I have not used him. And he's playing at the Cleveland Browns, who now know with Deshaun Watson out for the season, the Browns know like defense is the only thing that's going to carry us going forward.
Man, yeah.
So do I want to give Declan a free run at Tommy DeVito?
What are you doing? Don't get cute here. By the way, I've used Kenny Pickett, so I can't even use Kenny Pickett.
I know, but the Browns are the best. The Browns are the best defense in the NFL, and it's at Cleveland. You know?
Hey,
or would you rather have a guy who is living at home with his mom, who posted an 18 QBR last week,
who sounds like a Sopranos extra? He sounds like, I mean, this guy, if he's not making the drive from Jersey, right? Like, he sounds like he should be. I mean, it's such a great Sopranos
I'll take
name.
Tommy DeVito. That's fine.
Making the drive from Jersey. They play in Jersey.
That's right. They play in Jersey. He's like, I go across the parking lot, right by Jimmy Hoffa's body.
All right, you guys are right. It's got to be. Although you did pressure me into Jordan Love last week, and that was wrong.
We did.
But it's Tommy DeVito.
Yeah.
It's possible they find somebody else to play quarterback. You might not even get a second crack at it. So I will.
It's true.
I do think Kenny Pickett is a great pick here, but I will take Tommy DeVito.
All right.
Declan.
All right, my pick. I will take Baker Mayfield this week. He's playing the 49ers defense.
Oh, God.
I'm going to take Baker. Bucs have played a lot better than what we thought they were going to be from the beginning of the season. They started off their year with obviously a big win against the Vikings. But Baker's actually, he hasn't had too many clunkers QBR-wise this year. He's had a few, but he's been okay. He's been mostly in
solid.
that, he's been solid. He's usually been in that 50 range, but he's going against the 49ers, who I think are back here after a little bit of a injury bug that hit them. So I will take Baker Mayfield this week in Santa Clara against the 49ers.
It's a good pick, man. It's a really good pick.
In Flores, I trust.
Wow.
Russell Wilson,
Good call.
who I have not used yet, Russell Wilson is my selection. Brian Flores, you go do your work. You do that thing you do, Brian Flores, and bring me to a QBR victory.
It's juicy. So Russ had a 38 QBR last year. It's up to 52 and a half. He's been an above average QBR quarterback, but this is a good pick. A lot of good options, juicy options out there this week, boys. PJ Walker is going to start.
He's on my list.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's him or DTR. Like the Browns haven't, I don't think, named the guy. It'll probably be PJ Walker. But
yeah, so
didn't want to get burned either.
So there it is. That's the quarterback cesspool challenge right there here on Purple Daily. Hey, Dex, if you're looking to make watching football more fun between now and Monday, where can the audience go?
You can go to Underdog Fantasy. Great way to get some sweat on games. Great way to get a little payout like my guy Josh did here. Look at this 5-item slip for $1,500 here, okay? Puts hires on TJ Hawkinson, Kamara, Tyler Boyd, Chris Olave, who had a big game against the Vikings. Rides a lot of these hires here. So shout out to my guy Josh with a big win here. And if you haven't joined Underdog Fantasy, great way to get a sweat on game. New members get a $100 deposit match plus a mystery pick'em special. So when you're making those pick'ems, they'll give you a special option for that first option of your pick'em special. You can go to Underdog Fantasy, download the app, use promo code SCORE, SKOR, and they will match your first deposit up to $100.
All right, boys, that's a wrap here on Purple Daily today. Tomorrow, State of the Offense. We've got Feedback Friday coming at you on Friday morning. And also, don't forget Vikings Vent Line, which has been just a joyous celebration the last 2 weeks. Right after Sunday Night Football, Broncos and Vikings on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. Thank you guys for making this one of the most popular, inexplicably, football podcasts in America. We'll see you tomorrow.